There it goes. What's up, everyone?
Hi.
It's Friday. We're live. How you guys doing?
Finally live.
Sorry about the slight delay. I know these technical issues are a pain in our ass.
Yes.
Yeah, and
It's all good.
I gotta fix this now.
Yes, you do.
No, we gotta mute it on. Give me 1 second.
Because we were trying to
Mute it on
undo
YouTube.
everything and try to figure out what we were doing. So I was
Yeah,
like,
we're rookies tonight. There it is.
yeah,
No.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
You put your hand like literally in my left side. And I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, there it is.
Technical issues all over the place. We're good.
We like undid everything to redo everything. But we're here. And we have a guest.
Yeah, we're talking
Hi.
with we're talking with Sydney tonight. Sydney Elle on YouTube, and she's an awesome Poshmark YouTuber. You guys can definitely go check her out. She's going to talk to us a little bit about her experience with Poshmark and all the new changes that are going on and all that good stuff. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
how you doing, Sydney?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great.
Awesome.
Thanks for
I
coming on
love
the show.
all
It's
of your
awesome to have you here.
flamingos back there. Those are awesome.
Yeah, that's Karen's flamingo flock.
I like it. I like it.
And everybody in the chat room is also part of the flock, but that's fine. Thank you very
And
much.
Charlie Sue says she's in your Facebook group, so that's
Yay.
pretty cool. You got Facebook group followers in the house.
I see Star in the chat. Hi, Star.
So why don't we jump right into this? So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into retail, reselling, and all that good stuff.
So I started reselling when I was in college just to kind of make some extra money. I was working 2 jobs. I was usually working retail. I also worked for a nonprofit doing social media. Both of those were part-time. And then I was at my mom's house one day and she was watching Good Morning America or one of those morning shows. And she was like, hey, come here. I think you should look at this. Because I had been trying to sell my jewelry on Etsy. And she was like, hey, you should look at this segment. And it was about Poshmark. So I downloaded the app and I kind of forgot about it for a little while. And then I went back to my apartment at college and I listed a sweater on there and it sold overnight. And I was pretty hooked after that because I liked having the extra money just kind of sitting there if I needed it.
Isn't that great? That's actually, Karen has a very similar story to that. She started out on Etsy and then kind of progressed towards reselling from that avenue too. So that's a great way, I guess, to get your feet wet in the internet selling business,
like I was doing Etsy. I wasn't really happy with the traffic on Etsy. Like there wasn't very much traffic back then. So I found Poshmark and I was like, well, I make jewelry, so I can put it on Poshmark because it's fashion. So I started doing that and started, I think there was one day this girl posted on Facebook that Goodwill was selling all of these like brand new Target bathing suits for $1 a piece. And I was like, oh, maybe I could sell those on Poshmark. And I like went over to Goodwill and that was the first thing I ever bought was like a Target bathing suit to resell. They did, yes.
How long did it take to sell?
Not that long, maybe like a week or two.
Pretty good results with Target.
I sold them like as a set when I probably should have sold them separately, but I had no idea what I was doing back then. I was like, oh, I can get stuff for $1.
I remember my first buys out there when I just got out of PoshFest. It was ugly. I was buying jeans I've never heard of, and I'm like, oh, these look cool. There's lots of embellishments on these. They got
everything.
Money, so I'm picking them up, and
he came up to me with all this stuff. No, I never wore men's clothes, sold men's clothes at that point. I had no idea, and he's like, sure, but I even knew, and I'm like, if you think so,
it all did sell eventually, though. I don't think I have any of that new stuff in my closet still. So that's good news. Yeah.
Oh, so, that's funny.
You had a pretty interesting start. So you went right out of college towards the entrepreneur.
I went to college and studied biology, and I got a biology degree, and I was working at a vet's office, like an emergency vet's office. That was my first like real job with like insurance and all the good stuff. And I absolutely hated it. I hated sitting there for 12 hours. I absolutely hated it. And I was like,
I think we all feel that way.
Yeah. I was like, well, I guess I should probably try to do something else. So I worked helping people with social media. And then I had Poshmark and I was like, well, I can make some extra money on here. And I just kept going.
And it snowballs, right?
It does, yes.
It moves forward and things change. How long did it take? So did you go full-time quick or slow, or how long did it take you to get there?
I worked part-time for a while. So I quit working at the vet's office and I got another job like part-time working it was for a boutique, but it was at like their corporate office doing like monogramming and stuff like that. So I worked part-time there for a while and I honestly wasn't happy there either. So I just kind of used that as capital to build my business with. And then I moved back home and I worked part-time for a little while at Hobby Lobby, and I still used that to just kind of build inventory. And it was like, I was at like this place where I was like, okay, I can keep working part-time or I can just like jump off the ledge, and I jumped. So
that's what we did too, actually. Yeah, we're very similar stories.
You just kind of have to do it.
I used to love my job, but it was also like I didn't feel I would ever, go anywhere with it, and it's like, how long can I really do this? And like those thoughts, when those thoughts are in your head, it's not a good thing.
It's like you're living in limbo where it's like you're not where you want to be, but like to get to where you want to be, you can't stay there. You just
exactly.
Exactly.
So it was luckily for her, when she went full time, I was still working, and I worked for a good year and a half while she was doing Poshmark and building the business.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
it was, we had that income still coming in with us while she was building it.
So I was able to reinvest
everything,
almost 100%. I mean,
yeah, like I was in a place where I had minimal bills. Like I'd bought my car with cash. Like I drove an older car for a while, and I didn't have too many bills that I needed, and I knew I was pretty confident about the place that I was in to, start trying to resell full time. So,
and there's a great bit of knowledge right in there. What she just said, you guys got to listen to that if you want to go full time. She drove a shitty car. Excuse me. We're on YouTube. She drove a crappy car. She had minimal bills. Minimize your bills. Get those bills down to as low as you can, and work on your business. And that's what you got to do. And that's a great way to do it. Something you guys should all look into if you're trying to get full time.
We have people agreeing that they bought a few bad buys in the beginning too. I think we've all been there.
So guys, listen, if you have questions for Sydney, throw them in the chat. We'll answer them in real time.
You've got some fans in the chat.
Oh, hi guys. I'm looking at the chat right now.
And if you haven't followed her yet on YouTube, go over there. Sydney Elle on YouTube. Go check her channel out. She's got an awesome channel over there.
I see some faces. Hi, Christine. Star says Dave Ramsey says to drive a bad car.
It's true. Why drive a like depreciating thing? If it's just, and then you're putting all this money into it. Like get a car, like 4-year-old car, a decent POS, but a POS that's your POS. That's yours.
Yep.
So let's talk about your retail experience. How did your retail experience prepare you for a career with Poshmark, or did it do anything for you, or are they?
It absolutely did. I started working retail when I was 17. So I got my first job when I was 17. And then I moved like an hour away to go to college, and I kept working in retail. And then while I was in college, I got a job at this boutique, and I was the only person who worked in the storefront. Like I basically ran the storefront by myself, and it was kind of terrifying, but that prepared me so much for like the world of online selling, because I like started taking stuff from their store and like putting it on a website for them, and like just selling a ton of stuff through the website, because the owners had a lot like on the back end that they had to do, because they did a lot of like embroidery and like all kinds of corporate stuff. So my job was to run the storefront, and that helped me so much in doing that by myself and learning like how to post things online and how to market a business like that on social media, and then having to deal with customers in real life. And like I've also worked in like doctor's offices and all kinds of places where you have to kind of deal with people and customers, and it's the same online. Like dealing with people online, you just kind of have to exaggerate it a little bit online, like to make people know that you're being nice. But that helped me so much in just knowing how to, have good customer service skills and talk to people and diffuse situations if somebody's unhappy. And it helps so much. Like it was so hard at the time, but that prepared me so much for Poshmark.
Customer service is definitely key
It's
there.
true.
Yeah.
I was saying like a couple episodes ago that like, sarcasm does not come out in type, and it's true. You do have to be extra happy.
You have to be extra happy. Yes.
In order for it to actually show, because you're just reading words,
Right.
So some people are very sarcastic in life and like, and that's not good customer service because they can read it with a different tone in their head and just
Yes.
it changes it,
You have to be really happy. Like no matter what happens, you have to be really happy.
The chat will tell you, what do I love? I love emojis.
So we got a couple of questions rolling in here. A lot of it has to do with the home market. So we're gonna get into
let's
that.
talk about the
We're
home
gonna
market.
get into that shortly. So just hang out for 2 minutes.
We will answer you.
We'll get into that. If you guys are new here tonight and you haven't followed Sydney yet, Sydney Elle on YouTube. And if you're new to our channel, definitely consider subscribing to us. We go live every Friday.
Subscribe to them, the flamingos. I love them.
We go live every Friday. We do videos throughout the week, all that good stuff. And we have a link in our descriptions, first and only link. It gets you on our email list. If you're not on that list yet, definitely click that link in the description. You're going to get news from us on the good stuff that's coming out down the road. Plus, you get the 6-part Poshmark workshop for free, which shows you how we run and operate a Poshmark business right out of our house. It's an awesome resource for you guys, and it's completely free. So go check it out. First link in the description gets you there.
Every time you're going, I'm like,
You
I
got
don't
that
have to
down.
say anything. I can just sit here and smile.
Down.
Like, you got it covered, man. Like
I need that
Like,
spiel.
like,
I need a
you're
spiel.
like,
You have a
okay.
spiel. I used to work at Books A Million, and we had to sell these like discount cards, like loyalty cards for like $20. And I had this spiel that I just did like with every single customer. That's what that reminds me of.
That's pretty much what it is.
You got a spiel. That's awesome.
This spiel.
But it gets the point across, so we're good to go. So, Sydney, do you have more than one Poshmark closet? I can only find one. There's a question for you.
I do. I have multiple. Back before the markets feature existed, they came out with like because first they added the boutique. I think the boutique was first.
Yeah.
And they actually favored closets that were boutique only. So I wanted my first closet to be just my jewelry so that I could be a boutique and be featured with the boutiques. And then people started like making closets when they added men's and kids. So they would have a men's closet and a kid's closet, and then they would separate everything. And finally, they came out with the markets feature. So now that doesn't really make sense anymore to have different closets. So I'm trying to get it all combined into one. But yeah,
That's actually our next. We're working on that. We'll give you a little sneak peek of our next experiment. So
I've been doing experiments, so keep an eye out for Poshmark experiment videos.
yes.
Actually, writing down data.
we basically
Poshmark
grew both of our
itself is
closets
a
to
giant
500 listings. So we're going to
experiment.
see what happens when we put it all together for a month. I'm going to put my closet on vacation mode. We're going to merge everything over and
Into my
see what
closet.
1,000 listings do to us.
I'm going to go from
process.
500 to 1,000. I'm as soon as possible. I obviously have to copy and paste. Like, it's already given me a headache. But we're cool. We're cool. I'll get there. It'll happen. We'll see what happens, and I will log it all.
Sydney, if you want to join us and converge your closets too, we can all do this together.
A giant closet. Yeah. Okay.
Separately, but together. We'll get the
Yeah,
results together.
we
I don't
can
mean
do
put all
like
your
a
stuff in our
mutual
closet.
Marie Kondo. We can Marie Kondo our Poshmark closet.
Yeah. So let's get back on track here. Let's talk about the Poshmark markets. Now we're getting into the markets. So far, what's your favorite one and why?
I'm really excited about the home market. I have been waiting through this for a long, long time. I remember when they added men's and kids, like that was just shocking to me because for so long it had been just women's clothing. But I'm excited just because I've always wanted to like start buying like antique stuff and vintage stuff and home decor. And, I always see it at Goodwill, but you can't really sell it. So I don't really like to buy things that I don't really need. So I'm excited to get more and learn more about like vintage stuff. I've always wanted to get into that. So that's probably the direction I'm going to go with it. And then just to be allowed to sell, unique things on Poshmark, like, and branch out from just the clothing. I've been doing clothing for so long. I just want to look for some new stuff.
Yeah, I've been branching out. At first, I was kind of like, but sometimes you find really cute stuff. We have a very small, tight, but like awesome house that we love so much. But there's only so much I can put in it,
right?
Or we will be busting at the seams. So it's like I always find
We're
things
mini
that
hoarders.
I like, but like I'm like, where would I put it? I kind of like, where's that going to go? It's my first question.
It goes on Poshmark.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's on Poshmark.
So now you can buy it, and you get the satisfaction from buying it, and then you can sell it.
Yeah, you can even use it while it sells, and then just make sure you wash it real good.
You can admire it while.
Don't do that. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So in the chat, there was a question earlier about the home market. Like, have they expanded on what they can? There was an email talking that they now do allow kitchen.
Let's open up to Sydney too. Do you so they wanted to know if the market has been expanded recently, and if
I posted a video about this today, but they like released this morning that you can now do like dining, like all kinds of dishes, flatware, silverware,
awesome
ceramic stuff, coffee mugs. Finally, everybody's been asking me about coffee mugs. Finally sell the Ray Dunn coffee mugs on Poshmark. This is a big day.
It's huge. So many people are going from a non-compliant Ray Dunn closet to being like 100% I'm Posh compliant.
They're like, this is our day. Let's celebrate. List all the Ray Dunn you have. Just
see, now you guys are excited about the home goods market. I thought it was a little iffy at first when it came out. I was worried about it because you're taking Poshmark, which built such great success and following over the fashion market, and they're just selling fashion. They're only for fashion. That's what they build themselves as for so long. And now all of a sudden they're bringing home goods in and hard goods in. And it worries me that they're pushing more towards just a Mercari clone or an eBay clone, which is going to put them as just another selling app and not something special that we can all use to really grow a business with. And that's what worried me at first. And I haven't seen enough data on that to know whether that's going to be the case or not. So
everyone has the right to feel how they feel.
I mean, the way I think about it, like you have to look at places like Target and Anthropologie and TJ Maxx. They have done so much adding home stuff and stationery stuff and just, things that can like accent their store. And it kind of goes with the fashion aspect of it. Like, because I think Poshmark is trying to do more like decorative stuff, like going way more towards decorative stuff rather than just regular home goods, like just regular coffee mugs and things like that. And then you're going to have people who are listing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Of course.
I feel like those people are going to list stuff regardless of what.
It's true. Like when I actually go into an Urban Outfitters, which isn't often, when I actually go into one of the stores, like when I end up buying from Urban Outfitters, it's never clothing. It's like there's always something where I'm like, I would never have thought they would have created it. It's something like interesting and unique, and like I just have to have it. And it's like some ridiculous price tag that it's like, how much are you? But I'll buy it because I never saw anything like it before. And then it goes into some corner. So yeah, I totally get like how like people's homes are an extension of their own fashion and their own style,
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, Kate Spade makes like kitchen hand towels.
All kinds of stuff. She makes all kinds of stuff. If you go in like Nordstrom, it's everywhere. Coffee mugs, stationery, bags, all kinds of things. It's crazy.
There's cars for sale on Poshmark. I just saw apparently. Christina Roscoe says.
Oh, upgrade that shipping label.
I've seen cars. I've seen couches. Somebody posted about an elliptical machine last night. Yeah. Don't list your elliptical machines. You can't ship.
No, I mean, I don't even know if like the 10-pound label is going to cover that one.
And they don't do local pickup either. So no local pickup.
Yeah, that's a lot of upgrading for that label. That's true.
Yes.
So let's get into the fun stuff. We basically crushed the bio questions with you. That's awesome. So we're going to just freestyle it right now and go for our little bolos and all that good stuff. So what are you currently sourcing for right now, Sydney?
I love looking for athletic wear. Athletic wear, plus size stuff. I've been looking way more for that. Stocking up on jeans for like back to school time. Trying to stock up on jeans and sweaters and things, looking forward to fall and winter.
Now, is that something that you recommend everybody go and do right now? Is start stocking up on the fall, or should we start crushing summer still, or what do you think?
I would, just because I find it so cheap. A lot of thrift stores will put it on sale if it's out of season. I had a local thrift store that I found that was selling all their pants for like $1 just to get rid of them, and I was like, oh my gosh! So people just want rid of the out of season clothes.
Yeah, it's true. I was buying bathing suits in February because they were so marked down. Yeah. And I was like, well, obviously I'm going to buy them now because when people are actually wanting bathing suits, they're going to be like quadruple the price.
Right. And you have to think like that.
Not just thrift stores. That's like any store. That's the way it is. So if you really want to buy low, sell high, that's like one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the chat while you're talking.
I know. I start talking and go, do. When I'm not talking, there's like a comment or two. Is that always what happens?
That's always what happens.
Why?
So you're still sourcing for summer stuff right now too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And she actually touched on another thing which I love right now, and it's so great, is you guys should go out and look for local thrift stores. I assume you found a local thrift store with those dollar items, right?
Yes.
That's a big thing we're doing now too. Goodwills and all those chain stores are just going crazy right now. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the articles out there, but just, if you haven't, do a search, see what they're doing with their product, what they're doing to their customers, and where the money goes. Just do some investigating. You'll find out it's not a great corporation. These local thrift stores do so much good for the community, and the
money actually goes to something local.
The money all goes local. In fact, I just great opportunity, just hopped into my lap the other day. We were doing a YouTube video, and the old manager of a thrift store was retiring and asked me if I wanted to be the manager because I know so much about clothing and all that.
Oh wow.
I jumped all over that opportunity. It's a volunteer position, so it doesn't matter about I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the product that comes in.
Oh yeah.
You get to look at every article of clothing that comes through that door. If you can find an opportunity like that, jump all over it.
Yeah, go
volunteer. That happen to? Like who? This guy right here. Like who else walks into a thrift store and starts chit-chatting about this and that, and they're like, you want to be a manager? Like, it's only this guy. Like I was like, what? First day, he came home and he had new with tags Athleta pants. 5 of them new with tags in like the online.
It's $5 a piece for them.
Like
wow.
What? I'm like,
brand new Athleta.
Yeah,
they sold for what? They all sold for 50 with the exception of 2 for.
One sold for 40.
And
my last one.
I love Athleta. It's like
Athleta is a gold mine.
I kept one for myself. Yeah. Like, come on. I've
been thrifting so much stuff, and then I like try it on, and I'm like not getting anything done because I'm trying stuff on, and I'm just like, now I need more inventory.
I got it, yeah. So we got a question from Kathleen Kelly. Do you think handmade items are going to sell more now that we have the home category?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think handmade items are great, whether you're making them yourself or if you find them in the thrift store, just because that's something that's unique. Like that's something that you can't just go out to a store and buy. So people are going to be looking, especially during Christmas time, people are going to be looking for stuff like that. Decor, handmade stuff, something that not everybody has.
Like those ugly Christmas sweaters that somebody made in their basement or whatever. And the other good thing about that stuff too with handmade is it opens you up to multiple avenues to sell. Not only do you have Poshmark, but you throw all that stuff on Etsy and pretty much double your exposure and double your chances for a sale. So
I just bought a handmade, you know how they have like inspirational quote signs and stuff, and they're like everywhere and they're on wood and whatever. Someone painted one, like a common saying, but it was like hand painted, and I was like, this is different, and it was $1. And then half off of that. So I'm like, I'm going to spend 50 cents on this. And
I found this like needle point of Rainbow Row in Charleston. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Charleston, but it's a complete little framed needle point of Rainbow Row, which is all these little different colored houses. And it was like 99 cents. And I didn't buy it. And then I went home and I was still thinking about it. And I was like, man, I should have bought it. And so I went back because I had put it back and I was like, they're never going to have it, but they still had it. So I bought it. I was like, $1. Somebody made this and they're selling it at Goodwill for $1. It kind of makes
Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
That's like, oh man, someone put that like their blood. That must take a while. Those tiny little stitches.
Yeah, it makes me really sad when I find stuff like that at Goodwill that somebody's just donated.
And then slap the dollars tag on it. Like, oh man.
It's really nice framed and everything. Like it's got glass on it.
You rescued it though.
So like I want this. It's mine.
So we got a question from Alexandra Scott in the chat. She's asking, how much is your guide? Sydney, if you want to talk a little bit about what your guide is too, that'd be cool.
I have several like sourcing guides. I also have a guide on pricing. They're all linked on my videos. If you guys want to go to the video.
So check it out, Sydney Elle on YouTube. You'll be able to find those guides in the link.
Yeah, they're all linked on my videos.
Awesome.
They're all different prices too.
So with your pricing, let's get into pricing. How do you like to price your things?
I price everything super high. I feel like it's easier to price stuff high and then lower it. And then I also tend to like not look at comps and just go with my gut, because comps will tell you nothing in terms of how much something is worth. So especially if I find like a vintage t-shirt, or like I found this like old wolf t-shirt. It was from the 90s. It was so old and like comfortable, and it had just awesome graphics on it. It was in great shape. And I was like, this is really nice. And so I priced it. I think I priced it at like $40 and I sold it for like $30. Just a plain t-shirt with a wolf on it. And I'm just like, that's how much I want it. Because that's not something that you can just go to the store and buy. So you have to kind of figure out what you have. And then one time I found these like Land's End, it was like a swim bottom. And I went on the website just to kind of see like how much they were, and they were sold out on the website. So I priced it pretty close to the retail price just because there were no more of them, and sold it pretty close to retail. Awesome. Just because I knew they couldn't buy it anywhere else.
You can't get it anywhere.
No, that's it. It's mine. So you're going to pay retail.
Yeah, I used to like think, that I had to like price my items, so I had at least 2 price drops, like at least, sometimes 3. And then I used to think like, and I've been on Poshmark since 2013, and I thought like, oh my goodness, like then sometimes I would look up a comp and be like, I'm in left field, but it worked, and it worked for me. And I think it kind of got worse. Jay does price.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that real quick. This is
so I got worse with this, so I at least have like 3 price drops, like generously. Like,
so I have been ignoring comps completely lately. I won't look up a comp anymore.
Good.
And the reason why, and this is my mentality on this, when you look up a comp on an item, you're looking up what somebody sold that item for. You don't know what they listed it at. You know what they sold it for. So now when you list your item at that comp price, the only place you can go is down, which is just going to kill the comp. It's going to keep going down and down and down until something has a $5 value for it. Exactly. It happens on eBay. It's ridiculous.
Too much.
And
so you got to price high right now.
And you don't know like if that person is trying to make money, or if they're like a teenager and their parents bought it for them and they're just trying to sell it to get money for it. And like people who are trying to sell it for profit are obviously going to price it better than a teenager who's like selling stuff from their closet and just wants $10 for it, I
mean, I'm getting $35 to $45 for average regular Little Pony Horse polo shirts. Nothing special about them. All the comps say they sell for $15 to $20. I'm pulling $35 to $40 consistently.
Well, I just sold a $100 shirt if you go buy it.
Exactly, it is.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's working for him. So my pricing got even higher too, because I'm like, hey, it works.
I was talking about this the other day. If you price stuff so low, it kind of devalues your item. And then I feel like it makes the customer think, oh, this isn't a good item. If they only want, $5 for it, it's not a good item, and it's not worth me buying and paying almost $7 to ship it. So I feel like you kind of have to price your stuff, even lower end stuff at a higher price point, just to give it some value and make somebody want to buy it.
I was on YouTube the other day. I haven't shared it with you guys yet, but it just made me laugh. It was something, I don't remember word for word, but it was something along the lines of, do you really know what you're doing on Poshmark? My husband thinks you're a loser of the way you price so high and you don't even look at comps. And I'm laughing in my head. I didn't say anything back to him. I just removed the comment because I can't stand those comments. It's all that
people
negative.
Are old behind their computer.
But I really wanted to say, and I'm selling my polos for $45 and your husband's selling his for $10.
Your husband's the one crashing the market.
So what's going on here? But I didn't. I held my tongue. But it's just the mindset of these resellers out there that you got to go with comps, and it's just not the case. And
no, absolutely not. And I try to tell people this too when I'm like going over their closets and stuff. Like, you can't just go by comps because you don't know these people's situation. You don't know like if they care how much money they get for it, or if they even know how much the item's worth. A lot of times I will look at retail prices. That's
what I've been mostly like ask him. Like, he's like, what do you do? I'm like looking for how much it like sold, like he originally sold for. I'm more interested in that number than what other people do. First of all, like when you put it in, it's part of your calculation, a percentage off and your stats and all that stuff, like nerd stuff. But it's like, I want to know, because if it's like not like $150, what if this one piece was really like $400? Like that's going to adjust what I'm pricing it at. So like, I am so much more interested in that number than what anybody else has sold it for.
See, I got lazy with it. I basically just take my polos and list them at $65. I take my shirts
and hope for the best.
I list them at $65. If it's something special, I'll price it up a little bit. If it's something really hot, I'll double the price, whatever. But that set price has been pulling me $35 to $45 on everything I'm selling right now. So it's a price that's working for me. That price point really works with my stuff, and it's driving sales. So
plus, you know, a lot of what he sells, there's not like all these different price ranges. A polo is a polo, you know, like, I mean, sure.
You sell more to like men or women?
Men.
Like, men? See, I feel like men are more likely to pay more for something that they know is a good quality item.
I shouldn't say that 100% though. I don't know who I know there's women buying from me. I'm selling all men's clothes, obviously, but there's a good percentage, I'm sure, that are women buying for their husbands and all that good stuff. So it's not 100% men, but I do know a lot of men do buy from me. So
Kathleen Kelly, I wish Poshmark had an option to take off bad comments people leave on your listings. You can delete it. There's a little flag next to it. It's not very obvious. It's kind of like dulled out, but if you hover your mouse over it or your pointer, you can flag it and say like harassment or spam or whatever, and it will be deleted. Your number counter will still say it has a comment on the listing, but the comment won't be there once you refresh. Get rid of those comments. Bye-bye negativity.
So guys, if you're enjoying this content so far, definitely go and give us a thumbs up. We got 77 people watching right now and 17 likes. If we hit 65 likes on this video, by the end of the video, we'll do a giveaway next week. I don't know what it's going to be. Who knows, really? We'll come up with something cool and throw you guys a prize. We'll pick it right out of the chat. So go hit that thumbs up right now and give us a like. It's going to be a Flamingo. And don't forget to click that first link in the email and in the description and get on our email list if you're new here. 6-part Poshmark workshop right to your email, and all that other good stuff that comes around with it. We'll send you emails from time to time. You guys will love it. Click that first link in the description. That'll get you there. So anything else you want to say real quick before we wrap, Sydney?
I don't think so. I think we covered a good bit about the new features and exciting stuff happening today on Poshmark. So it was a good day to do the show.
Good. We did really good. Yeah. This is great.
So we'll wait a couple of minutes, see if you guys have any questions. If you have questions for Sydney or for us or for anyone, just throw them in the chat. We'll answer them for you, or Sydney will answer them. One of us will get an answer. I'm sure between the three of us, someone knows what you're talking about. So
I hope. I should hope between the three of us collectively we would be able to nail a question.
Yeah, that we can answer. Right. With our Posh knowledge.
I make about I'll tell you right now, I make about 15 on the lower months. I'm making about 15 to 2,000. On the higher months, I'm making about 35 to about 35.
So my closet makes
way more. Yeah.
So this is all. I've been on Poshmark since 2013, and so my following's a lot bigger. I do have repeat customers, not all of them. Believe me, that would be great. So that's why when we are merging the closets, like he's coming over to mine and not vice versa. Even though,
but my closet
would take forever.
My closet will come. We're only doing this for a month. I'm not deleting any of my listings. Nope. We're just going on vacation mode. So my closet will, be back in order after that. And I make Teenage Jesus Superstar. I make sales daily, multiple sales on occasion, and we sell quite often. So we are making a full-time living off of this.
Especially now that you've been volunteering on those days, your activity goes down.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you keep it up for me though.
So I'll be like, "Can you share my closet?" I was like, "What you gonna give me, man? Like, come on, what you gonna do for me now?" I'll share my own closet
for her.
So, Sydney, what do you think about liquidation sites? Are they worth it?
I have honestly never done a liquidation site, like buying pallets and stuff like that. I've never done it. I've heard some good and bad stories from people who have done it. So it's definitely a risk. Like it's, all out risk, but.
Karen, give her your experience. You've done it. So
I've done it, yes. So I was happy. I did do an unboxing video. I was very happy with it. However, I knew what was going to be in the box, not just the manifest, because a lot of them will tell you like the words, like you can like download the PDF of the manifest of what would be in it. Most of them, they actually included a video of them like going through the hangers pretty quickly, so I was able to have an idea on that. So I wasn't going in blind, you know, like completely. Yeah. So I did have a better experience because I wasn't like, what is it, and like, so. My experience was good, but I went in there with my eyes wide open and knew what was in there.
Yeah, that's a good way to go. Like, definitely look for people who will like give you the manifest, and that's good. That's cool that they had a video like showing you.
Like it was all hung up on like, just like a regular rack. So they were it wasn't like professionally shot. Like you probably someone was standing there with their iPhone just going like, like kind of like.
I think there was only one thing in the box that wasn't in that Nordstrom blazer, right? Wasn't in the video, and it was in the box.
Or
that was the only
it was either
thing,
the first or the last thing, because like the video started like really abruptly, and it's like we're already going through, so I had to replay it a few times to kind of get the first and last because it ended abruptly too.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually use them in the fall for a pallet. I think we got to get our garage cleaned out, and then we're gonna pull a pallet in. We had a good experience with them, so it's actually not a bad deal. You get about what 300-400 pieces of clothing or something like that in the pallet.
It's all different. Yeah, it's all different. Yeah.
My prices was pretty good, so
it's exciting, but like terrifying.
I haven't seen any other questions popping in. Do you have any? Yeah?
No, we are good. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very happy we had you on the channel. Sorry, everybody. It took us a couple minutes to go live.
We were having
difficulties.
One more time, guys, if you haven't done so already and you don't follow Sydney on YouTube, go check out her channel, Sydney Elle on YouTube. It's easy peasy. You can find it real quick. Go sub to her. She has great content. She talks about Poshmark all the time.
Yes.
And, she's always putting videos out. I see her videos pop up in my feed like twice a day sometimes.
Are you guys going to be at PoshFest this year?
Unfortunately, no. Unless by some miracle people did say they nominated us to speak. So if we get chosen to speak, we'll figure out a way to get there. If not, we're not going. Are you going?
Yes, I will be there.
Nice. Hopefully someone nominates you to speak. You do a great job. So
Tiberius will only be like going into his 8th month of life.
Aww.
So it's like we kind of thought before they announced where it was. Like I made like a whole Instagram post on it because I really was upset that it was like, like time differences and like such a small child. Because if it was drivable, like somewhere on the East Coast, or like, even like we drove to Chicago, then we could have had someone come with us. Like
I was really hoping for Atlanta. I was almost sure it was going to be.
They were coming across the country and then they went back. I don't get it.
They like turned around.
Like put it on the East Coast for God's sake.
They need to do an East. I mean, I understand that they're over in California, like why they're doing it so close to California, but they need to do one on the East Coast because
I thought they were gonna. We really thought they were gonna be here this year because it seemed, they did California first, Chicago, Texas. What's left to go, right?
Vegas, California.
Oh, they did Vegas too, yeah.
But then they went Chicago, Texas, so it kind of looked like they were going like.
Then they threw a curveball at us.
Last year, a hurricane hit right when it was like the day before it was supposed to start, and a hurricane hit. So they like to have it right in the peak of hurricane season. So I think it's because of the hurricanes. But they could have done New York, like. Everybody will go to
New York. I mean, I get that could have been also very expensive for people to stay there, like really expensive, even with their hotel rates and like.
Oh, you got Jersey and Connecticut though, so.
Yeah, but when you're not from the area, that doesn't make sense. Like when you're traveling, you don't think, let me stay in New Jersey. When you're from like New England, you think, let me stay in Jersey.
Yeah, we did an Airbnb last year, which was.
That's what we did too. Yeah.
Yep, we with 2 other of our PFS.
How do we miss you last year?
No, I think we talked briefly at the party.
That's probably why I don't remember.
I was like trying to like take my shoes off. I was like, I was trying to take my shoes off at the party because I wore these horrible shoes and I was like in so much pain. I was like,
I had about 20 drink tickets at that party. So
Because I was pregnant, I gave him all my drink tickets.
And then everyone else was
remember
giving me
you
drink
were
tickets.
on
And
the
I'm like, what the
couch.
hell is going on here? So I just kept drinking. And
Oh God.
I remember there were donuts.
I remember I was pregnant and like just miserable the whole time, but trying to enjoy it.
That's how you enjoy it, yes.
I was trying so hard and I was
Aw.
just like, I was miserable, like so miserable. And then I see him like, here's my drink tickets and he's having a blast. I'm like, oh my God, gets to have fun. You know?
I hung out with you for most of the night, though.
Oh, Melanie's in the chat.
I
She
saw her,
was
yeah.
on our Airbnb. That's right. But yeah, we're not there this year.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I know. We went rambling.
We got to go get to the baby. That's
yes.
going to do it for us. Let's go see how Tiberius is doing. He's got about another hour.
Baby
to
hi,
stay
he's
up.
precious.
Yeah.
You got to go see how he's doing. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much, Sydney, for coming on the
Yes,
channel. It was
thank
such a
you.
great time.
Hey, this was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Again, follow her on YouTube, Sydney Elle. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. We are the Thrifty Flamingo.
How
We're
many
here
likes do
every
we have?
Friday. We got 42, so there is no giveaway next week, guys. But when we hit 10,000 subscribers, what are we, like 350 away? When we hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to find something really awesome to throw to you guys.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. And we'll see you next week, guys. Have a great weekend.
Bye,
And
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.